Sankalp, it's 9:30. Please start.
Yeah, we'll start.
Yeah.
Everyone take all doctors in. Above, please. We welcome you all to this informative and interactive show, The Pundit Show by Dr. Ritu Sandwani, supported by Innovcare Life Sciences, the makers of Metinofol, Proinofol, and Inofol HP. Swami Sankalp Sane, the Associate Marketing Manager. Welcome Dr. Ritu Sandwani and Dr. Madam Sham Peri Jaiswal from Lucknow. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Since we are engaged in marketing specialized innovative products across the country in the field of infertility as well as pregnancy care. To begin the session first, I would like to introduce our eminent speaker, Dr. Ritu Sandwani. Madam is specialized in the field of IVF, infertility, test tube baby. Madam is having 20 years of experience in the field of obs and gynae. Pune Test Tube Baby Center, and having expertise in the field of IUI, ICSI, IVF, assisted hitching, egg embryo donation, surrogate mother, male infertility, semen embryo freezing, sexual and psychological problems, and to give moral and emotional support to the infertility patients. Welcome, madam, for the
Thank
public
you.
show.
Yeah,
Yes.
Thank you, Sankalp, so much. Please introduce my madam. My madam.
Yes,
Ma'am
yes.
is my teacher.
Madam's teacher,
Yeah.
let me have a honor to and privilege to introduce our next eminent speaker, Madam Dr. Sham Peri Jaiswal. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to the show, ma'am. Brief about the madam. Madam is a professor and unit head at the Department of Obs and Gynae, KGMU, Lucknow. Madam is a fellow of IAG 2017. DM Sharma and Madhu Sharma, the best academic awards in the field of cancer 2018. Got appreciation award by the Chief Minister of UP in 2018. Got gold medal for the video presentation in WW1 2018. Narchi Fest Award in 2014, the best paper prize. Silver Jubilee Trophy Award in UPCOG 2013. Madam has published more than 75 national and international publications. Also invited as a guest faculty in various national and international and the state level conferences. So welcome, ma'am, to the Pundit Show, ma'am. Over to you, Ritu, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you,
so.
doctor.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sankalp, and thank you, Innovfol, again. Always supporting of this program. A very, very warm welcome to my very, very dear madam. Ma'am, namaskar to you and charan sparsh to you. Ma'am,
Thank you, Ritu. I am so happy to communicate with you, and really is a pleasure to me to talk. You have so much good space, and definitely you are doing so well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ritu.
Ma'am, these lovely flowers for you. A warm welcome from my side.
Thank you. I am accepting it. Thank you so much.
Ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So, friends, as all of you know, this the Pundit and Dr. Ritu show. In this show, I always invite the persons who are very knowledgeable, who are having a vast knowledge of the subject, and I always believe on the fact that knowledge is always increases by the sharing. So I am so thrilled to interview my madam. The Dr. Jaiswal is one of my favorite teacher. I am also a product of KGMC. So I can never forget कि जब हम इतने परेशान होते थे, इतने टेंस होते थे, एक मैडम ही ऐसे थे कि जिनके पास जाकर हम रो भी सकते थे और कुछ भी बात भी बता सकते थे. मतलब मुझे तो आज तक वो बातें भी याद है कि हम मैम के घर भी गए हैं. मतलब
Thank you so much, Ritu. Your lovely words. Thank you so much.
उस टाइम पर मोबाइल का इतना वो नहीं होता था, तो मुझे याद है जब मैं एमडी करने के बाद में आई शिफ्टेड टू पुणे, मैंने मैम को 1-2 बार चिट्ठी भी लिखी थी, मैम ने उसका रिप्लाई भी दिया था.
I know. Still I have your letter with me.
Yeah, so nice of you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ritu.
So, ma'am, I want to thank you from my bottom of my heart that on my single invitation you accepted this.
Thank you, Ritu. अब बहुत ज़्यादा ना बोलो यार.
मैम इतना तो बोलना ही चाहिए ना, जो आप करते हो वो तो पता ही होना चाहिए ना सबको.
This is really, this is very nice. Nice of you.
So friends, as all of you know, today we are going to discuss the topic for the mystery of thyroid from adolescence to menopause. So, ma'am, with your permission, shall I start my this happy virtual hour?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We should start.
So, friends, in between, if you are having any queries, you are free to write on the chat box. And if you are joined us via Facebook or via YouTube, you can write there. Our coordinator, Mr. Weber, will write here. Yeah. So, ma'am, my first question to you regarding this thyroid gland. So, what's the role of the thyroid gland in the metabolism?
Thyroid has very important role in metabolism. This is responsible for carbohydrate metabolism, fat metabolism, and even for the protein metabolism. So thyroid control functions of body with this metabolism.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, how does this thyroid gland affect in female? Are there something like that some females are more prone for thyroid disorders?
Thyroid, as compared to male, definitely 10 times more common in female. And there's so many factors which affects the thyroid function. There may be autoimmune problem, or there is a history of some drug intake or radiation. These problem can cause dysfunction in women, and even in the pregnancy and adolescent, when there is a growth period, that time also, because of changes in the hormone in the body at the level of hypothalamus and in the local also, there is changes in the endocrine glandular system can also affect the thyroid glands. Like during pregnancy, during pregnancy there may be in the due to secretion from the placenta, there is increased level of HCG. HCG along with this HCG is also responsible for the increase of thyroid receptors. So there may be increase in the thyroid, disturbance in the thyroid function in the form of hyperthyroidism or hypothyroidism, both way, depending upon the condition.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, is it reported that is thyroid is in the have some genetic association? Any familial history?
Definitely, if there is a history in this family or can cause problem. Basically, we are gynecologists of obstetrician, so we deal thyroid dysfunction related during pregnancy, even sometime in adolescent also, when the adolescent girls comes with the abnormal menstrual cycle, or even reproductive woman comes with the abnormal menstrual cycle, that can also maybe or it is due to thyroid dysfunction, either in the hypo or hyper. Both are responsible for abnormality in the female.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, there is one question in the WhatsApp I received, that what if the thyroid is not treated?
Thyroid means thyroid. There is a thyroid is a gland.
Yes.
It can cause hyper as well as hypothyroidism, both conditions. As I told you, both hypo or hyper, both conditions are not correct, or is not good for the human, especially female health. This is male also, but female, because the growth, mental, so many things, body activity, BMR, everything is affected. As I told you in the beginning also, carbohydrate, fat metabolism, even protein metabolism, all it is affected by the thyroid function. So any dysfunction, either in the form of hypo or hyper, both should be seen either on the basis of symptoms or on the basis of investigation, and should be managed. If there is a dysfunction during pregnancy, can affect even the growing fetus in the uterus.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So what is your question? I could not make out.
Ma'am, it is written, some doctor has put the question, anonymous it has come. So what if the thyroid bracket now is mentioning that hypothyroidism? What if the hypothyroid is not treated in a male age of 32 years? Is mentioned.
Hyper or hypo?
Hypothyroidism.
Hypo. Okay. Generally, we read even during MBBS time also, The hypo is responsible for sluggishness, overweight, mentally the person is not able to concentrate on study, disturbances. So this is basically hypo is responsible, is low, and at the same time hyper is responsible for excessive, like excessive BMR can cause poor weight gain. Like in hypo there is excessive weight gain, but in the hyper the BMR is more, so there is a poor weight gain, and there is a sweating. There is a hyper patient is remain in unstable condition. So if the hypo in the male also is abnormal, even it can affect the semen sperm activity and motility and formation. So in that situation the person should be treated well. Means thyroid function should be in a normalized form. Neither more is acceptable nor less is acceptable for human body.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Now I'm coming to this hypothyroidism in detail. क्योंकि हम जितने भी गायनेकोलॉजिस्ट हैं उनके दिमाग में कुछ ना कुछ क्वेश्चंस रहते ही हैं hypothyroidism के लिए. So, ma'am, my first question, ma'am, this session will take some basic questions also. As you are our teacher, तो ma'am सोचेंगे इतने कौन-कौन से basic question पूछ रहे हैं, ma'am. This program is attended by the young budding gynacs also. So there are
I
some.
know you are taking my class. Basically, that's I told you I'm a gynecologist obstetrician. So let's see how much I can answer you.
Nahi. Ma'am, there is one question. Yeah. So, how the modality for the treatment of hypothyroidism according to age-wise, ma'am, please guide us for the adolescent age group and for the menopausal ladies.
In hyperthyroidism, first
ma'am,
we should hypo. Achha, you are talking about hypo. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So in hypo, if the I'm telling in detail, if the young girl, how she will present? She will present with the overweight. There may be loss of appetite. There may be she is not able to concentrate in study. She feels lazy all the time. She will lie on the bed. And in this situation, she will not able to perform her routine activity and even not able to produce also. The outcome will be not very good. So in that situation, we should take proper history. Even the PCOS is also common condition during adolescent period. So we have to differentiate whether there is a problem with the PCOS or because of hypothyroidism. And she can present with the abnormal hypomenorrhea, oligomenorrhea, even sometimes amenorrhea also. Although we know that in the case of adolescent, cycle is usually irregular. There may be in the beginning of there may be now it is cycle. So that sometimes we only counsel the patient, but after some counseling the patient, still the patient is, a girl is not getting relief, then we go for the investigation. In investigation, blood includes blood investigation as well as the ultrasound examination. Ultrasound to see whether she is having PCOS or not. If she is not having PCOS, then we go for the hormonal assessment. In that, the thyroid function should be done. Even in case of infertility also, when the patient comes with the irregular, even a reproductive age group woman comes with the irregular menstruation, in all these situations we have to do the thyroid function. Thyroid function means T3, T4, TSH, all we have to do, because by this we can make out whether the patient is in the hypo or hyper. As you told, the girl is in the hypothyroidism at adolescent age group. So in that condition, we have to correct the hypothyroidism. Levothyroxine is the best treatment to correct the hypothyroidism when there is a TSH level is high. So how the dose should be given? The dose is 1.6 microgram per kg body weight. Okay. So according to that, if the patient is a 50 kg, in this we can give 50 to 75 microgram per day. So accordingly we can calculate the dose, and dose should be started from the lower dose, and should be increased, because we can't give excessive or more dose in a beginning. There may be patient can have problems. So always start from the lower dose and increase accordingly. And once the blood TSH level become normal, or it comes within the normal limit, then we can continue with the lower dose.
Yes, ma'am.
This is
Yeah.
about the adolescent. Same with the menopausal woman also. In the postmenopausal, because there is a hormonal deficiency occur, and this hormonal deficiency may be related with thyroid dysfunctions deficiency also, in that the patient may develop hypothyroidism, and it should be treated. Otherwise, it can cause problem in the bone marrow also, because bone density also.
Loss. Yeah. Ma'am, any role of any vitamin supplementation in this hypothyroidism?
Vitamin supplement, yes, because the vitamin helps in metabolism, or in that situation we have to give multivitamin, vitamin D, selenium, zinc. It's all, and iodine. These all are necessary for the treatment with the treatment, or is the supplement in the case of hypothyroidism with the levothyroxine.
Yeah. Thank you.
Calcium should always given.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, ma'am, we are coming to a very burning topic regarding this pregnancy-related hypothyroidism. So, first question is the very basic question. If the patient is suffering from hypothyroidism, what are the common problems for getting the pregnancy?
I have repeated 2-3 times or many times. Once the patient is having thyroid dysfunction, her presentation may be in the form of irregular menstruation and infertility. As you are asking about what problem may occur in the woman, especially when she wants to conceive, in that we have to see this is because of hypothyroidism, or parallel I am taking hyperthyroidism also. In that, in the basic investigation, routine investigation, thyroid function should be done. If she is having hypothyroidism, means the TSH level is more than 10 international unit, definitely she should be treated. And once the TSH level becomes normal, or it comes within normal range, sometimes she conceives herself without any other treatment. But if it is not corrected and still she conceives, maybe with the high TSH level, in that there is the chances of abortion. So there is chances of abortion, preterm delivery, intrauterine growth retardation, these on even mental retardation in the fetus also. So these are the conditions may occur with the hypothyroidism.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, for regarding this, what are the normal cutoff levels in the different trimesters? जो सभी गायनिक की बहुत बड़ी कॉमन क्वेरी रहती है.
There's a problem with the medicine people, physicians and gynecologists.
Yes, ma'am.
Because according to physician, they take 5 international unit as a normal. But in obstetrician gynecologist, they always says, no, this is not the normal. This is hyper, and even subclinical hypothyroidism is also responsible for the infertility and fetal losses, early abortions and fetal losses. So they said it should be corrected properly. And for the first trimester, 2.5 international unit is the cut limit. And in the third trimester or second trimester, we can go up to the 0.25 to 3, but never more than 3 international units.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, now I'm coming. Ma'am, there is one query has come regarding hyperthyroidism, ma'am. Ma'am, what are the most common causes of hyperthyroidism during pregnancy?
During pregnancy, hyperthyroidism is because of Graves' disease or Hashimoto's. In the first trimester, there may be little hyperthyroidism also because of increased beta ICG level, and usually it is associated with vesicular or molar pregnancy or multiple pregnancy because of increased beta ICG. So this is the physiological which comes to the normal in the second and third trimester. But if still the level of patient is having hyperthyroidism, in that situation she should be treated well.
Yeah. So thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, now what are the risks of this grave disease to the mother and baby?
Hyperthyroidism or Graves' disease is again not good for the mother as well as for the baby. In the mother, the patient, once she conceives, then will are mainly related with the fetus. It can cause congenital goiter in the fetus, and there may be mental retardation, there may be preterm delivery, abortion, and even intrauterine growth retardation can occur with the Graves' disease. So whenever there is a hyperthyroidism or Graves' disease, it should be treated with the PTU, propylthiouracil.
Yes, yes. So, ma'am, the two options what are available, this propylthiouracil and carbimazole. So, which one is better and why?
About the carbimazole, in the beginning, people thought it can cause congenital anomaly or teratogenic, but after a last study, it is also safe. If the patient is already on that drug, there is no need to change the drug. But definitely, the PTU is a better alternative.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, there is one question has come that what's the relationship between the Graves' disease and breastfeeding? Are now from today onwards we have started the breastfeeding week also. So this some of the question is expected of this kind. Yeah.
So there is no problem. The patient is on the drug. She can feed her baby because the dose of the drug is not so much, or if it comes into the breast milk, it's a very minimum amount of comes into the breast milk. So the patient can feed. There is no need to stop the breastfeeding even if the patient is on the drug.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, as we have always seen, we have seen in some cases for regarding this postpartum thyroiditis. So, your any experience for this postpartum thyroiditis? What are the risks associated and what's the treatment is advised?
Usually in the postpartum period, there is some change, but there is no need of giving much drug. But if the thyroid level is definitely is very high in that situation, otherwise the beta blocker is sufficient to treat. But if it is definitely the patient needs drug, then it should be given, but after some time, not immediately it is required.
Okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, there is one more query has come is regarding this thyroid nodules. So, as we know, this goiter and thyroid nodules. So, how much is the chances of the cancer in this thyroid nodules?
If the patient is having thyroid nodule or goiter, in that situation, she should be investigated properly, especially when she is pregnant, in the pregnancy condition or is pregnant. If there is not much problem or is not enlarged, uh, depending upon whether the size is less than 1 centimeter, 5 millimeter, 1 centimeter, more than 1 centimeter, the criteria has been given. So, but a basic need is that she should be kept under follow. If there is not much increase, she can continue her pregnancy. And after delivery, in the postpartum period, after 6 weeks of delivery, if there is a need of surgery, she can go for the surgery. Sometimes, if there is a sudden enlargement or the patient needs surgery, in that the second trimester of the pregnancy is the best period. But if you are suspecting malignancy, in that the FNAC is required, and the malignancy, if you are suspecting, definitely the patient will go for the surgery. And as I told you, the second trimester of the pregnancy is the best period for the surgery. Otherwise, it should be postponed till she delivers. If she delivers, then after that she can go for the surgery, because sometimes the patient needs radioactive substance for the investigation or for the treatment, in that situation the pregnancy is not a good condition, so we have to postpone. But if the patient has received already radioactive substance, so we have to counsel the patient she should not become pregnant at least for 1 year, because there is a chances of problem in the there may be teratogenicity or problem in the fetus or baby, so she should not become pregnant. So in this situation, definitely if the patient is a pregnancy, then we have to postpone till she delivers, and then after that she should be treated for that. And FNSC is the best thing to see the type of malignancy, whether it is highly malignant or low malignant, and accordingly should be treated.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am, for such a crisp answer. Ma'am, other query, ma'am, any dietary modifications you advise for this hypothyroid and hyperthyroid patients? For both, we want to know.
Regarding diet, because the hypo or hyper is one is it is related with the genetics or with the autoimmune disease, or sometimes it is related with the area where she lives. If the area is that type where there is a iodine deficiency, then although the government of India also recommend salt, which is iodide salt or something to reduce the hypothyroidism. So accordingly, we have to see which type of diet she should take. If she is a hyperthyroidism, then she should avoid extra. This is iodine-rich salt or something diet. But in the hypo, because in our country the hypo is more common, even the incidence of hypo in women is more common as compared to hyper. So in that, the government is, or even the salt, iodine containing salt is available. There is no need to giving iodine separately, but definitely if the patient is hypo or hyper, in that situation she needs medical management.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. Vaibhav, is there any questions in the YouTube or Facebook? Can you share it here? I'm seeing some doctors are writing again. It's not because doctors' names are not visible today. Ma'am, there is one question by Ma'am, there are 3-4 questions now. Bombardment of the questions, huh? Ma'am, there is question by Dr. Mansha Singh. Huh? He is writing, what is the role of TPO testing?
Yes, during pregnancy, na? So basically, we are related with the during
Yes,
pregnancy to see whether the patient is hypothyroidism or not, or subclinical hypothyroidism. In that situation, TPO testing as a screening is not required. Even free T4 is sufficient to give free T4 and T3 is sufficient to give the answer. So there is no need of TPO testing for screening purpose.
Okay. Ma'am, there is another question by Dr. Indira. She is writing, if the pregnant patient is using low dose during pregnancy, when she can discontinue?
Low dose means to make to normalize TSH level during pregnancy. Okay, I agree with this. After delivery, we have to repeat the TSH level after 6 weeks to know whether it is normal or not. If it is normal, then there is no need. But if it is not normal or is going up, then we have again repeat after 1 month to see if remain it's normal, there is no need. But if it is increasing, then we have to add or to give the treatment for that.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, there's another question again by Dr. Mansha Singh. He is writing the other question. Should one check TPO or directly start the treatment according to TSH, T3, T4 level? I think ma'am has just answered.
I think the same question.
Same question. Yeah.
Because TPO should not be used for the screening purpose.
Yeah.
Free T3, T4 is sufficient along with the TSH, especially when the TSH level is not much deranged. In that situation, T3, T4 will T3, T4 will give you clue.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, there is another question by Dr. Indira. She is writing, does RAI, means radioactive iodine, decrease the ovarian reserve?
Mm, I don't have much idea about it. So I think you will be better because you are the infertility specialist.
Yes, some studies are reported, but still it's the controversial. So when the patient approaching us, they have to go for this radioactive iodine. Always we do the prior AMH, and after that we only, once the patient is going for this, we always recommend with these values, and that patient is going. Yes, some studies are Dr. Indra has reported that there is some decrease in the AMH is reported. Any other?
Because
Yes, ma'am.
regarding the pregnancy, it's told
Yeah.
if the patient is on the radioactive substance, she should not conceive at least for 1 year to come to the normal level.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
after that, she should. About the AMH, I can't. You told this there's no difference, but I can't comment on it.
Yes, ma'am. I think. Vaibhav, any more questions? Yeah. So I think, ma'am, we will wind up here. We have finished in the quite well at the time. So
I
thank you.
think I have given answer in a very short form, no? That's why.
No, ma'am.
Otherwise, we could have covered.
No.
Actually, my
Thank you.
answers are very short and crisp, to
Yes,
the point
ma'am.
only.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, thank you so much. Despite of your very busy schedule, having 4 webinars in a day, you have taken up time for me. So, thank you once again. Thank you once again, ma'am, for joining our
Thank,
show.
thank
I'm
you.
privileged.
I'm
I'm
really
privileged.
feeling very happy to talk to you. Really, after a long period, we are talking
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much
Thank
for
you, sir.
inviting me.
Yes, ma'am. Over to you, Sankalp.
So much, ma'am. Jaswa ma'am, thank you so much. Ritu ma'am, thank you so much. It was very interactive and informative session. A lot of insights we got through. We as an organization, we have a nutraceutical range of products with us. We have vitamin D3 2000 IU product with L-methylfolate. That is Inofol D3. Inofol D3 we have Inofol HB, that is iron. We have Pro-Inofol also with the combination of zinc, pre-probiotic and L-arginine. So all the importance of nutraceuticals are there. Considering that aspect, we have those range of products with us. And looking forward for your exclusive. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sankar. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, friends. Then with this, we are winding up the session for today. Tomorrow, we are here again with Dr. Chakravarti on a very important topic, the psychological response for the sexual dysfunction. And friends, please block 3 dates. I am announcing here. On the 15th August, we are here with Dr. Jumani on the very important topic, freedom from male sexual dysfunction. Other on the 5th September, on the occasion of the Teachers' Day, September we are celebrate as a month of the teachers. 5th September we are having Dr. Rishikesh Pai with us, and 6th September we are having Dr. Nandita Madam, Dr. Nandita Palshekar with us. So till tomorrow, bye bye. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you once again, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ritu. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, Sankar. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.